But before then, tomorrow, the world at large will be celebrating the Easter, regardless of the war in Ambazonia. The president still took out time to send an Easter message. That Easter message, we'll try to analyze a little bit of it tonight. We try to, sectionize the message in some points. But then, for all we know, this message is very powerful and it was also emotive. President Samuel Sako has rallied Ambazonians to remain steadfast in this struggle for independence and self-determination. By doing this, he addressed the challenges faced by Ambazonians. President Sako emphasized the need for resilience and determination in the face of adversity. Here are some high points I carved out from the speech. He talked about transforming struggles into strength. President Sako urged Ambazonians to use the stones thrown at them as building blocks for their future, emphasizing that the struggles they face should not deter them from their goal of independence. He stressed that the pain of the Ambazonian people should serve as a catalyst for their fight rather than a source of weakness. He used the imperative of force. The president emphasized that the only language the La Republic de Cameroon will understand is the demand for Ambazonian departure from La Republic de Cameroon, and that this demand will only be met through the use of force. He cited the sentencing of Abdul Karim as evidence of La Republic de Cameroon's evil intentions towards Ambazonians, stating that La Republic de Cameroon has consistently manipulated and kept Ambazonians in a state of subjugation. Let's get that clip.
Fellow Ambazonians, happy Easter. There comes a time when, like Jesus Christ, you carry the weight of the whole world on your shoulders, of everyone, that those who mock at you don't matter anymore. You don't hear them. You don't listen because of the weight you are carrying. I know many were mocking and saying all manner of things when Jesus was carrying the cross and bearing the pain for mankind. I say this because we're in Easter. Because of the pain, the weight of the pain he was carrying, those little pebbles that they were throwing around him, those little words that people were speaking, he didn't even hear them. It did not matter. It was all about his mission to be accomplished. Ambazonians, we need to come to a point as we look at this great example, a point where our feelings don't matter. The stones they throw at us don't matter. What they say by the side against us don't matter. Because we bear so much pain within that no other pain, we cannot feel any other pain. Have you imagined somebody who is burning in an oven at 150 degrees? If you take a needle and pierce that person, he will not even know anything touched him because he's under a greater pain. If you carry the pain of our people, nothing can stop you. Nothing. No one can stop you. Nothing can even touch you and you feel it. I wake up in the morning, I talk to somebody. And that has been my experience for about 7 years now. I talk to somebody, a loved one. We talk and strategy. I listen to that one. By midnight, I look at that phone again. I look at that number. I cannot call that number again. You know why? Because the person I spoke to in the morning is nowhere to be found on the other side. He has been deleted. He has been killed by the forces of La Republic of Cameroon for no reason. That kind of burden. And the numbers are still there. I was just scrolling through my phone and see the numbers are there. Surprisingly, I've not deleted any. They are still there. They remind me of the reason why we must fight. Because if they have one wish before they finally gave up the ghost, was that we will not fail. We will not fail.
Oh, well, in talking about burdens, the third point that we also noted out from the speech was the solidarity with prisoners. President Sako also highlighted the plight of those wrongfully arrested and imprisoned, warning that even if Ambazonian leaders were to surrender, those in prison would still face elimination. And so he explained that the fight for independence must continue, not just for the sake of Ambazonians, but also for those who have been wrongfully detained, who may not get justice. Let's get that as well.
So this is the time for us to fight. What happened to Comrade Abdul Karim? My old self will just be weeping and crying and saying and sharing my emotions and so on. Thank God my emotional self is now numb, not to say dead. The only thing I've learned to do now is to shrug the pain, learn my lesson from whatever is going on and go forward. Shrug the pain, shrug away the distraction, learn your lesson and go forward. So I hear he has been sentenced by the genocidal regime for life. Okay, one would expect that, right? Because what is your expectation of the devil? What do you expect from the devil? Good. The only surprise would have been if he was let go. So, what are the lessons learned? Our lesson should be that to all Ambazonians, all of us. Some of us are gradually drifting and creeping and trying to find, plow a middle ground. You are looking for a middle ground position where you are soft, you are a moderate, you can talk to La Republique, maybe you will make them see reason. La Republique de Cameroon and all their leadership, they don't reason. A reason is not in their DNA. You cannot reason with people who have no reasoning faculties. They are animalistic. They don't reason. They are Satan. All they know is evil. They fraudulently grafted us into their country. Evil. And by evil, they kept us. And by evil, they want to keep us. If somebody thinks that somehow we are the ones making it tough because we don't want to talk to them, if we had talked to them, they will change, then you are naive. And that is the naivety of some who think that if we can find middle ground and talk with these people, somehow, La République du Cameroon will change. The only thing that La République du Cameroon will understand is our departure. And that's going to happen by force. By force. Because a thief will not accept a negotiated settlement. Because when he goes to that table, he will not have any grounds to get anything at all. Because he is a thief. The person who will quickly accept some kind of logic, some kind of settlement, some kind of dialogue is somebody who knows that when I get to the table, I will put my facts on the table. I will prove my case. I will give them my evidence. And everything they ask, I will check every box. But the person who knows that he has been a thief from the beginning, he has lied from the beginning, he has been a fraud from the beginning, how will he come on the table to discuss? How will he come to the table how will he want to talk with you? What will he tell you that will convince you? So they are scared of the table because they lose before the discussion begins. So one thing that we know is that it has to happen to us, whether they like it or not. That is the paradigm. That is the formula. Ambazonian has to be free, whether La République likes it or not, because we are a free people.
Listening to that sound, it strikes so much emotion. So aside emotion, what is the call to action? For all we know, the present message was clear. The salvation of Ambazonian people depends on the collective efforts of everyone. And for that reason, Ambazonians must continue to fight for freedom. And so this message also serves as a rallying cry for Ambazonians to remain steadfast in this pursuit of independence and self-determination. Do you also want to look at the significance of this message and what its implications could be? Of course, the message has significant implications for the ongoing war in Ambazonia. It has a long way to prove the complexities and challenges that Ambazonians face every day for independence, and this deeply shows the need for continued international attention. And so the question is, how do you think La République du Cameroon will respond to President Sako's call to action and the demands of the Ambazonian people? And how will Ambazonians in general accept the president's speech ahead of Easter celebrations?